That we have a problem with the court's ruling, and we've been clear that we have a problem with the court's ruling. And I think you know the answer to the question about whether we will arrest President Netanyahu. He was here in the United States a few weeks ago, and he was not arrested. The warrant was out before that. Okay, well, let me be clear. We will not arrest him.
Of course, because they are co-conspirators. The United States government is equally guilty. They supplied the weapons, the intelligence and logistics that without, these crimes could not have been carried out, and even when ample evidence has shown the misuse of these weapons, they still continued to supply them with more. Furthermore, they have been covering for them until now, both internationally and to their own citizens.
And because we have a question about the jurisdiction of the ICC on Israel, and we've made that very, very clear.
These question of the jurisdiction argument they have made is just plain silly. This administration position is there is an established sovereign democratic government with a judicial system which, in theory, is able to hold any criminality to account. Even if you actually believe that, it's been 14 months and countless crimes and clear violations of international law have taken place from the highest level of authority to the individual soldiers, and not one person has yet to be held accountable for any of them. Take Hind Rajab, for example. In the face of insurmountable evidence, they came back with the determination that no member of the IDF were in that area, so clearly their system is least to say ineffective. Furthermore, while Israel may have sovereignty by international standards within their 1967 borders, they do not have sovereignty over Gaza, which is where these crimes have taken place. Lastly, given that the government and the people of Israel have been unwilling or unable to hold the perpetrators accountable, by default it is clearly within the scope of the mandate of the ICC to take action.
Those against? The result of the voting is as follows: 14 votes in favour, 1 vote against, 0 abstentions. The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative vote of a permanent member of the Council.
I really don't think the United States government is in a position to say whether or not the ICC has jurisdiction, given that they, just yesterday, have again blocked the international community from taking action.
The United States deeply regrets this Council finds itself here again. The United States worked for weeks in good faith to avoid this outcome. We made clear throughout negotiations we could not support an unconditional ceasefire that failed to release the hostages.
What does it mean that release of the hostages should be unconditional? This is what the Council has said repeatedly now for a year. Release of hostages should be unconditional. But stopping killing Palestinians is conditional? There are acceptable conditions to stop the mass killing of Palestinians? There's 100 Israeli hostages.
Israel is killing more than 100 Palestinians every day on an average.
Israel will always claim conditions have not been met because its plans require it to continue this war, to annex the land and destroy the people. And therefore, we can no longer accept its conditions. 14 months, and we are still debating if a genocide must be stopped. One day someone will dig up these meetings, the records of them, will see us pleading for the lives of our people over and over and over and over again. And they will try to understand why our calls were not heeded. They will look at the people who sat around this table and spoke and addressed you from all over the world to call on the Council to take action. They will read what everybody here has said.
I also welcome, Mr. Speaker, the new government's support for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Clearly, we need to put an end to the humanitarian devastation there, get the hostages home, and open the door to a two-state solution. Upholding international law is also crucial, and to that end, I hope the government will respect the ruling of the ICJ last week when it considers it.
On the International Court, we do respect the independence of the Court and international law, and let me be very...
We will not arrest him.
It would seem the United States government is alone in its sentiment on this matter.